Let's go back to your singing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some people watching this that are, older and go, oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a musical family.
Sure, yeah.
Nobody sang in my house.
Yeah.
And now I want to sing because I play piano or I play violin and I want to sing. But so how do I develop my voice? How do I
100%.
how do I develop it?
Sure, absolutely. I think the best thing that I did even before I did professional teaching was I remember when I was young recording my voice. I could just be singing along to the radio. And I would record because I wanted to hear what I sounded like. What did I really sound like? In my head, I sounded great. I was like, oh, I sound awesome. I sound just like this person. Then I would listen back and be like, wow, I don't sound like this person.
Did that discourage you?
No, it made me want to be like, well, I got to figure out how to get better at this.
Well, you're weird.
Yeah, I know.
Because most people...
I mean, it did do it to a certain degree. I was
most
like,
people
I
hear...
sounded better.
Yeah, come on. Most people hear their voice recorded and they're like, ah!
No, 100%. But don't get me wrong. I did have some discouraging moments.
Did you scream like that and put your hands up?
Yeah, I did have that. Don't get me wrong. But I would say that for the most part, it was just, it kind of put a fuel into me. Like, oh man, I do need to figure out how to get better at this.
Yeah, I guess it was a real, what do they call that? A reality check.
Yeah.
And not a bad thing. Okay, this is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Here's the reality.
Yeah.
Now how do I get from point A to point B?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, people starting off and trying to just become better singers, the first thing you got to realize, I know for me personally, is that you just got to let your voice do what it does. People that are like, well, I want to sound like this, or like I am inspired by these artists and want to sound like them, and that's why I want to sing. Well, don't start there. Just discover your own voice for what it is.
How would one do that?
I think the one thing that I make sure that I do when I'm just singing in general is to make sure when you start singing along to the radio or doing your thing, one thing I figured out when I was young was to not tense up my whole body. Let the body work and just be natural. It's kind of like if you tensed your hands up trying to play a scale, eventually you're going to get tired and you're not going to be able to play at all.
Because there's extra energy and tension.
Yeah, and you're using all this tension in your body, then you're going to tap out. It's like weightlifting. You're using all this tension. Eventually your muscles are going to give out. It's the same as the voice. You got to find your natural voice where it feels good, where it just kind of resonates in your nose and in your head, like your whole body's an amplifier for your voice. Some people don't realize that. They think that their voice has to be this strong thing. Well, you got to figure out how to use the amplifier. Your body is the amplifier. So I learned at a young age that, man, if you can harness that and let the body be the amplifier, get your mind out of the way and let your body resonate with your natural voice by just singing and being, relaxed, you'll find some cool stuff happening. And you're like, wow, my voice resonates on this note. Now that I'm really relaxed and not tense on my shoulders and trying to use my neck muscles to hit these notes, don't worry about how high you can sing. Just find your natural state of voice, and then figure out where that resonates. And then that's kind of your thing, you know what I mean? Start there, and then you'll be like, wow, I sound really relaxed here in this part of my voice. It's natural. I don't have to push. Start there, because then you'll start to unlock how to hit higher notes by staying relaxed and not trying to sing too high and use all those unnecessary muscles, because then you just tap out and you can't sing anything. You're not using the proper technique to get to those notes in the first place. So that's what I think is the most important. You could start on one note in the middle of your voice. You can start middle C as far as I'm concerned and just sing that note until you find and feel your cheeks resonate. You're like, whoa. I do a lot of weird vocal techniques, like where I would do why, where I'd get people to just say that word and kind of like a filter, get their nose to tickle and resonate. Right. And they're like, at first they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
And then they feel it and it feels weird.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, whoa.
That's what I got to go for.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. And then you have to apply that to actually singing, let it be, to get that ring. Right. The same kind of ring. So I think that's really helped singers unlock their natural amplifier.